Are you sick of bidding wars on Upwork? If you find that you're constantly scrolling through Upwork, spending money on credits and boosts, but you're spending most of your time scrolling through the job boards, looking at jobs that undervalue you and are offering you like £5 an hour at most, just to hopefully find like the rare diamond of a great opportunity and see that there's already 50 applications. If you're finding it's really hard to win work and stick out in a sea of other freelancers on Upwork, I need you to hear me out. Imagine landing high-paying clients without ever having to log into Upwork. Clients that are willing to pay over £1,000 per month for your social media management services and don't have a toxic attitude where they expect the world. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it and how you can too, using a couple of little strategies to put you in control of being able to find your own clients whenever you want them, not whenever you luck out on Upwork. So, quick introduction, I'm Bethan. I run an agency and I have done for the last 7 years, and I also help social media managers and aspiring agency owners through coaching. But one thing that you might find really interesting is I never used Upwork other than for hiring freelancers myself. I was never really a user of the platform. I made an account, but I'd never won any work until recently, that is, where I did a 30-day Upwork test to see what I could bring in as somebody with 7 years of experience running my own business and plenty more years in the marketing industry. Well, I got one client. And although it was great, I was really underwhelmed by that, because if I'd put the same amount of effort into my current strategies, I know I would have been looking at 2 to 4, and they would have paid better. So if you're a social media manager or an agency owner that is currently using Upwork, but you know you're relying on it just a little bit too much, and you want to start considering how you can have more control over bringing clients in yourself, this is exactly why I wanted to make this video. So I'm going to share with you exactly what the 3 main strategies are that I would recommend any social media manager or agency owner put into play if they wanted to stop relying on Upwork and start bringing clients in directly. You'd be surprised how easy it is to find clients through a network that you already have. Let me give you a couple of examples. So first off, one of my longest term clients ever, who I'm still working with now and was my very first retainer client in my agency, is one of my friend's mum. I knew she ran a business. I dropped her a message, kind of trying my luck and being like, hey, I know you know me as like your daughter's best friend, but I'd love you to give me the time of day of a meeting. I think I can help you and your business get better results from social media. And they signed up on the spot. It was one of the easiest sales I ever did. She knew that she trusted me, and I already had such a great relationship with her that she wanted to work with me. But that's not all. I also have had quite a few projects come in through my wider network on things like LinkedIn with people who just know that I do marketing now, because I'm talking about it, because I'm actively promoting myself and my business through my network. First off, one brilliant project I had land in my lap was a 24K project that was literally just a, hey, I need somebody in marketing to do this. Can you help me? That was crazy. And actually just last week, I had a colleague who has already reached out to me for previous projects drop in, and we signed a 3K consultancy package off of just, again, a network connection reaching out. And this is one thing that you as a social media manager cannot do on Upwork. Everything is based on this job board style opportunity. So there's no way for you to leverage or make use of connections that you already have, relationships with people that you already have. And you know what they say, people buy from people. Having those relationships and network is something that you should be making the most of. So if I were going to advise you how to do this, there would be 3 steps I would say to take. Number 1, reach out to your past contacts. Reconnect with colleagues, classmates, anyone that you know who has a business or is in a position that they may want your help, and tell them that you are doing marketing now. Do they need any support with this, or do they know anyone who would need some support with this? You'd be surprised how many people are just wanting to help, even if they're not somebody who's going to sign up as a client right now. I can hold my hands up and say I've definitely had referrals this way, even when we haven't decided to work together. Number 2, use platforms like LinkedIn effectively. LinkedIn is a really good example of a social media platform that actually started as a network-based platform. I remember the days when you couldn't even post on LinkedIn. So you should be making sure that your profile is optimized with keywords, saying that you are a social media manager, a marketer, a marketing agency owner, whatever it is, so that it's easy to search you and find you. You should also be connecting with people that you know, making sure that your connections on LinkedIn are growing and you have people that you maybe know in real life are now connecting on this platform too. You should be posting regular content, and finally you should be engaging on the platform. You should be commenting and being kind of top of mind for the people that you know that are on LinkedIn. A third step, which is a really great way to not only connect with your network but actually to build it further, is going to be attending either virtual or face-to-face networking events. Bonus points if you can find something that is specific to your niche that you want to attend. It gives you the opportunity to quite literally get face-to-face in front of your ideal customer and chat without there being any pressure, without them being felt like they're being pitched to. This is a place where the expectation is you are going to talk about your business, so they're going to be expecting that from you. Okay, I've probably convinced you by now that your network is a gold mine of potential clients, so let's move on to step 2. And of course, we've got to address the elephant in the room, social media and content creation and what that can do. Social media is one of the few chances you get to speak to your audience for free en masse. On Upwork, the only really opportunity for you to do that is on your profile, which, let's be real, is so structured and so formulaic that often you don't get enough space or time to be able to really fill it out in a way that you can position and message what you do as a must-have to the reader. So it's not enough to get them committed to buy. On social, you're able to kind of have them follow you and be able to actually drip feed over the messages that you want them to have until they're ready to buy from you. The 3 ways that you can do this effectively is, number 1, showcase your expertise. Share case studies, examples of what you've done for clients, even screenshots of incredible analytics that you've made. Your social media is after all, so demonstrate what you can do on social, both through creating incredible content that they want to binge, but also by showing what you've done for your clients. Number 2, build out your personal brand. Having your own representation on the likes of LinkedIn is going to really help how people perceive your business beyond its business name. Focus on some of that personal branding concepts and how you can connect with the reader. That is something you don't have a chance to do on Upwork. And number 3, move people through the buyer journey. There are specific strategies that you can use inside of your content to get people closer to the point of buying from you. By creating content for each step of the buyer journey, you're kind of guiding people closer. And honestly, if you're answering objections, telling them about your service, and doing that correctly, then you can turn a follower into a customer easy. And you don't need a crazy amount of followers to do this. I know this is something people worry about, but I fully booked my agency out with less than 500 followers. To this day, the agency account only has like 600, but yet we were able to go beyond the 10K months that most people are dreaming of. And the skill alone of being able to generate content that sells is super important, not just for your agency accounts, but for your clients. This is something that I teach all of my coaching clients in my programs. We break down the step-by-step that you need to take to grow your agency through socials, to get clients in the door through socials, for you and for your clients, through what I call the content conversion method, so that you can actually start seeing leads come in the door. Okay, let's talk about direct pitching and outreach to potential clients. To me, sending a proposal on Upwork feels a little bit like a pitch. So if you've been using the platform for a while, hopefully this is something that you're comfortable with already. But let me break down for you some of the differences about pitching on socials and how you can do it in a way that doesn't make everyone involved feel a little bit ick. First off, open disclaimer here, pitching to me, building relationships and getting people to turn into customers does not mean sending weird cold DMs, immediately asking someone if they want to work together. It also doesn't mean asking someone if they want 5 to 10 new clients that month. And even worse, if you bait someone into thinking you're interested in working with them by asking things like, hey, can I ask you a quick question about your services? Those are all no-goes. And they're honestly what is commonly talked about for social media managers and agency owners when you look at some of the other gurus' content on how to create cold pitches on social media. So strap in, because this take is just a little bit different. When done well, pitching should feel like you're helping people. Pitching should feel like if you weren't, you would would be avoiding the elephant in the room, and that it's something that your potential client wants to hear about. Okay, step one here is going to be actually finding the right people to be spending your time pitching. You should be pre-qualifying and finding people who match your ideal customer before you even think about reaching out to them. I'd recommend starting on like Instagram or LinkedIn. Just through search on social media should be more than enough for you for the time being. If that's not getting you the results you want and you're struggling to find people, then head over to Google Maps and search for the niche that you want to reach out to. The only thing here is it's going to be harder to get some more information from them to if they fit your demographic. So there's a little bit more research you're going to have to do. The next step is actually to start prospecting, which is the most effective way that you can reach out to potential clients without turning them off with that ick of a cold message. Prospecting is a style of outreach that really focuses on slowly but surely building relationship and essentially being a great conversationalist, rather than reach out with a direct elevator pitch that they don't care enough, they're not involved enough to hear. Start asking questions about them and hear about their business and find out more about if you want to work with them. Let them take the lead and enjoy the conversation. The more you get actually invested here is, I feel like, the more effective it is. If you want another video on prospecting and in principle how it works, let me know. And the next thing you're going to need to do is actually have a really organized approach so that you can follow up well. First off, you should be tracking every single lead or potential lead that you're prospecting. You should be tracking what stage of the journey they're at with you and when the last time you contacted them was. I'll pop a little preview on the screen of what our tracker looks like for how we actively keep hold of leads. So we actually every month we'll track our activities, how many conversations we're having, how many discovery calls we have, so that we know if it's working, if it's getting the conversion that we want. And this works so bloody well. Let me tell you a quick story about a client that we signed recently, actually within the last couple of months in my agency, using this approach. We added a lady to our prospecting list, knew we wanted to start the process of potentially working with her. So we were commenting on a couple of her posts and liking a couple of her posts, and one day I replied to her story. It wasn't a pitch, it was just commenting on what she'd said in her story. And immediately she answers me with, "Oh my god, I've been meaning to message you." And I'll pop the screenshots here. It was a voice note, but you'll get the picture. "I've been meaning to message you. I actually really need your help, and I think we should get on a call." Less than 2 weeks later, she had signed up and is still to this day an active client of ours off the back of one story reply. So that goes to show how prospecting can kind of slowly and surely build a relationship with someone to the point where they want to work with you. Because remember, the more of this relationship that you build, the more warmly they look at you, the more of your content that they see, and the easier it is to convert people. But while we're talking about pitching and outreach, there's a couple of things that I want you to avoid. First off, do not copy and paste messages between people. It always comes across like a copied and pasted message, and it makes it feel like to a prospect or to a potential client that you aren't that engaged or that bothered, because you're basically half-arsing the pitch. And there you have it, 3 ways that you can get more social media management clients without relying on Upwork. If you're ready to take control of your client list and get higher paying clients, give these strategies a try and let me know in the comments below how you get on with it. As always, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to see my original Upwork experiment, I'm going to pop the video on the screen for you to go and watch.